Ayo! It's your boy B3 back with another kicking TV show review. It's another Toku review, and one that I think you will be interested in. Redman from Subaraya. Yeah, I'm sure most of you have heard of Redman. There's currently a Redman comic with Matt Frank working on it. I'll be reviewing that comic book on my Godzilla and Gigan channel, by the way. But today we are talking about the Redman segment. Right, so Redman is a Japanese tokusatsu quote-unquote television series made by Subaraya, and Redman is originally what they were going to call Ultraman, which is why Red King is called Red King even though he's not red, you see. Because they were originally going to call Ultraman Redman, and then Red King would have been like a big enemy for him, so that's why Red King has his name even though it doesn't fit him at all. But they did use some of their canceled ideas for Redman for a segment on a children's variety show on Nippon TV. It was called Ohio Komodo Show. I believe that's the correct way to pronounce it. And so it's from 1972. It's 138 episodes, but each one is only 5 minutes and just part of this larger show. You know, I'm sure all of you have seen a variety show at some point, or at least heard of one. So Redman is human-sized. He's not giant like Ultraman. He doesn't even grow giant like Ultraman. And it reuses monsters from the Ultraman series and Seijin from the Ultraman series as well. Now, there are some that are from different shows. In fact, Redman's first weapon was actually... Oh, first enemy, not first weapon. I misspoke there. His first enemy was actually a Mirror Man monster called Darkron, right? So, his first enemy wasn't an Ultra, but then most of his enemies after that, like in Episode 2, Black King, there's some Ultra Q ones like Garamon, had some Alien Icarus, Giras appeared a lot. In fact, Giras appeared in many episodes. Because, you know, Giras only appears as a monster in one Ultra episode. You know, there's like stock footage and a spark doll of Giras and stuff, but Giras only really appears as a monster once. But in Redman, Giras is in episodes 13, 15, 16, 61, 70, 75, 100, 103, 107, 109, and 110. So that's more appearances in Redman than it actually had in Ultraman, which is pretty crazy. So that's really awesome. And there were some scrapped enemies and stuff as well, blah, blah, blah. And this show has kind of become it's become kind of a cult classic. And that's because Redman is like really violent. He just slaughters monsters and stuff. And most of the time, these monsters and Seijins are just minding their own damn business. That's the craziest part. My favorite episode of Redman takes place in a bamboo forest. And Alien Icarus is literally just skipping through the bamboo forest, just having a good time. And then Redman appears in this really creepy shot where he's like standing at a distance staring at Icarus while he's skipping. And then Redman just slaughters Alien Icarus. Icarus Seijin goes down so fast. And I was like, that was not protecting people. That was not self-defense. That was straight up serial killer stuff. Which is why Redman gained the popularity he gained. The Subaraya official Facebook page, not Facebook page, my bad. I spoke again. I hate myself. The Subaraya official YouTube page actually uploaded every episode of Redman for free in like 2016, and you could watch them. But they've either taken most of them down or made it so that you can't watch them in America. There are a few that you can still watch in America, but you'll have to find them elsewhere. But since they did release them like that, a bunch of people downloaded them, so you can easily find every episode of Redman. Most of them are still on YouTube. Lots of them have been re-uploaded as batches. I did watch the entirety of Redman before making this video, and let me tell you, it's actually pretty excruciating. Because they're just fights, and the choreography honestly doesn't seem planned at all. The choreography in the Toku series that I'm working on right now, Toku King, will probably have better choreography than this if I can find someone to consult. Donate to that on Indiegogo. Link in the description below. Little pimp myself out right there. But yeah, Redman is brutal, violent, even though the choreography is not very good. Each episode is really short, though. It's just a fight. There's no story. It's just fights. That's it. Just quick fights that last like 5 minutes. Just quick 5-minute fights. I've said it multiple times. That's that. 138 episodes, Nippon TV. But the crazy thing about the show, and the part that makes me just laugh, is the suits. The suits are so bad. Like they just made a bunch of cheap suits for monsters or reused old suits that were falling apart. You know what made me just laugh out loud was episode 2. Episode 2 is so funny because he fights Black King in that episode. And okay, so he fights Black King in that episode, and Black King's suit is falling apart to the point where it doesn't even have a zipper anymore. So the back of the suit in episode 2 is open the entire time. The suit is just open. Like, it's not zipped up. It's not closed. Open. It's so funny. That was in episode 2. And Black King's only other episode appearance is episode 5. And I think the Alien Icarus episode I mentioned earlier is either number 7 or number 9. It's one of those two. I just can't remember which one off the top of my head. But I can remember episode 2 and 1 off the top of my head very easily. Because that Black King just made me laugh so hard. I laughed so hard. And then, another really funny thing about some of the suits is the Redman suit, which is actually a pretty cool looking suit. It's well made, except for his antenna. They really didn't take the fragility of his antenna into account when they made this, because you can watch him fight and they constantly snap off. You can see them just pop off and fly away during the fights multiple times throughout many episodes, and it's so funny. I can see why this show is a cult classic. 1, because the production value just makes it hilarious. And 2, because Redman is unnecessarily brutal towards many of these creatures. So, do I recommend you watch Redman? Yes. Don't binge it because you're going to get super bored. And you honestly don't even really need to watch the entire series to get the gist of it. He fights several monsters over and over. Some monsters he fights at the same time. Like there are times when he fights multiple monsters at once and stuff. You can find all the episodes on my Godzilla and Gigan channel. I saved a playlist. Like there's a playlist on YouTube that has many batches of Redman, but I don't think it has all the episodes. I had to go watch some episodes elsewhere because I watched all those batches, and then like a month later I watched the rest. So that's it. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below, Facebook, Twitter, etc. Next time, we'll probably be doing Go Godman, which was kind of a sequel to Redman, but it really just replaced it. It was more of a Toho version of Redman instead of a Subaraya version. So that's it. Thank you all once again for your support, and I'll see you all later.